Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver. This is episode number 34. We're starting off here by getting Psychic here for Tomahawk, which has been a very, very long time in the making. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the move that he should be using, but this is going to be more of a training episode. I know we tend to have these episodes every once in a blue moon where there's just some training going on, you know, just sort of the back and forth in grinding, because this game does require a good amount of grinding. I got the dog staring at me right now, and yeah, it requires a good amount of grinding, and then on top of that, you know, you could spend hours battling trainers and things like that, and sometimes you just need to make a video into that. So I guess this is just like a catch-up / grinding episode, but you know, it's still important to get some stuff out there. We are training to be the very best we can be. Here we go into the underground tunnel now that we have solved the electrical problems that were going on here, so we can actually walk through here, which is very nice. I forget how we actually activate all of the Kanto gym leaders. I do think there is like some more work that we need to do. I'm going to search that up in the weekend coming up here. But like I said before, with a lot of the NFL stuff going on, you know, it can be a pain in the butt. So let's look at that. We taught Shadow Flash, which is very nice. Now we can get through the rock tunnel here, which has notoriously always been a pain in the neck in this series, but isn't a pain in the neck now, because as you can see, the Pokemon here are so low level that it doesn't make a huge difference. We don't spend a ton of time here grinding. I just wanted to show some of like what actually exists here in the rock tunnel, just so that way you guys had an idea on your end of what that looked like. But it's nothing too big. I mean, it's the standard Pokemon rock tunnel, but almost died down. It feels like Kanto really could have used a lot of the wild encounters to be a higher level. I understand why they didn't, just to keep everything like lore relevant, but it doesn't make sense to return to these areas and have everything be, what is this guy, like, yeah, sub level 20, I guess, because my vision isn't that good. I can't see the screen, so I don't even know what level that guy was, but it really doesn't make sense. But anyways, let's go down here and then magically reappear outside of the tunnel. This is where we actually get some of the good gym trainers, or some of the good trainers out here in the wild going up against us. Now, the audio as I've been walking around may have sounded a little bit goofy, and the reason why that was is because I was trying to wake up the Snorlax. So what I was trying to do was use the Pokemon radio, which is what I remembered woke up the Snorlax in the past, to try and get him going, but apparently that's not what you do, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. I think waking up that Snorlax is what will trigger the other trainers, the gym trainers, to be available to battle. So I need to search up how to do that, but yeah. That's why the audio sounds a little bit goofy. I do realize it when we go down here into Lavender Town, because Lavender Town has seen some serious adjustments, and I go through and just check a few things, battle a few trainers. You know, like I said, the actual music playing is probably a little bit off for the area, but at the end of the day, probably not a huge deal. I know at the end of these Pokemon series, we typically have like training to be the very best episodes once or twice, just to sort of wrap up everything going on. But I feel like it's more prevalent in this series than it is in like all the other series, because like we tend to get everything done way ahead of time, and this time I'm really trying to get things done. I was planning to have this done by the time Kingdom Hearts was wrapping up, but I mean, we're already into Halo Combat Evolved episode 5 by the time this is coming out, so like almost more than halfway through a whole nother Let's Play, and we're still here. Just a really long game, and I do think I've shared it momentarily on a few episodes, but with this episode being a shorter episode, I realize it's not going to get a lot of love, so I'll plug it here in this episode. I do think we'll be playing one of the remakes of Ruby and I forget, Ruby and not Pearl, I always want to say Pearl, but you know what I mean. The Groudon, Kyogre, Gen 3. We'll be doing one of the remakes of Gen 3 here, coming up next on the Pokemon series. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do. If not, maybe we'll move into Pokemon Sword, but I really want to do one of the remakes of Gen 3 to wrap up the year. It is my least favorite generation. I'm going to be brutally honest, and I don't love it. It's never been out of this world fun for me to do, but I think with like a whole new team and a whole new dynamic, I could really put a lot of life into that Let's Play, and that's what I'm really hoping for, just because I've had so many Let's Plays. Well, I guess only one, but I've had so many walkthroughs of that generation where I was just a Debbie Downer and didn't like it, and I feel like if I do things the right way, I could really turn that whole generation around and maybe turn my opinion around. And as the new year is coming up here, I know it's a few months away, but I mean, look at how long this Let's Play took to get out there. I feel like that's a really good way to like turn spirits around in the Pokemon world for myself, because you know, you get like this far in the Let's Play with Pokemon. I've been doing Pokemon back to back since the beginning of this year. You do get a little bit burnt out, so I think a new interesting take on the Gen 3 remakes might be what it takes to get me back into the Pokemon series. I know the last time I played Pokemon Gen 3, I played Pokemon Ruby, and we ended up taking like a 4-month break because I got just wrapped up in a lot of other projects, a lot of other things going on in life, and also lost some of my love for the Let's Play. But I think this time around, we're in a completely different situation, and we will be able to make the best of it and have a good time moving forward. So that is the hope. But that's my plug here on this episode. Obviously, this episode's a little bit all over the place. Nothing scripted. It's just me talking off the cuff. Sometimes I like to do that on these Pokemon Let's Plays because they are a little bit longer compared to other Let's Plays we do on the channel. They're a little bit less centered on like the actual gameplay and more in terms of like channel progression and things like that, etc., etc. You know how it goes. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, there is only a few minutes left. So if you liked this episode at all, or you liked anything that I said during this episode and are excited to see it, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is greatly motivational for myself and continuing to make videos just like this now and in the near future. If you want to see like full, right, like this is 12 minutes, but it started out, I think it was like 30 minutes, maybe 45 when I started cutting it down. If you want to see full Let's Plays of like all this stuff where you see every nitty-gritty detail that goes into everything, please leave that in the comment section down below. I am more than willing to do like full-blown live Let's Plays here on YouTube, you know, like live stream stuff like that. I used to do that way back in the day when this channel first started, where I would do everything on Twitch and then port it over to here, but I don't need to get into all the nitty-gritty. Me and Twitch didn't get along at the end of the day, and then we started porting stuff over to here, and it just became a whole process of using multiple platforms to handle multiple things. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, drop it in the comments section down below. I do not mind doing it for the channel at all. It just doesn't seem like par for the course right now, you know, with the subscriber base and everything like that. It seems like there needs to be just a little bit more of a following, but if people want to see it, people want to see it. So I am more than willing to do it. But like I said there, yeah, drop that down in the comments below, or drop down what you thought about this video in the comments below. I always love seeing all the comments populating down there, and I always make an effort and can give my word that I will respond to every comment down there, even if it's not in English, or even if it's just like, hey man, this video was absolutely garbage, you just ranted about the channel, you didn't focus on Pokemon, look at the Goldeen dying here. I understand. I will give a comment back, so it is what it is. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap up this episode. Hopefully you can enjoy the last 2 minutes and change here without my lovely voiceover narration. We are going to go see the guy who gives us the fishing rod. You're going to get to see where we saved, and that's likely where we'll leave off into the next episode. The next episode will likely have a little bit of a grinding element in the beginning, but I'll do my research here over the weekend and get everything sorted out so that way we can actually move into more lore heavy stuff. I plan to do 2 gym battles per episode once we get those gym battles, but it feels good to get a lot of these trainers out of the way first, so that way we know our Pokemon are the highest level they can be heading into those battles. And yeah, we basically have a foot ahead of everything we could be dealing with. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to check out. Take it easy, take her schlazy, and we'll see you all here on the next one. I hope you all had a snazzy week leading up to this episode, and have a snazzier week and weekend heading out here. Until next time, guys, everybody take it easy, and as always, peace out, Girl Scout.